It's Sunday afternoon here in Montreal, and we're about to find out who's best prepared to take on this 4.3-kilometre track and, of course, the infamous Wall of Champions. Driving one of those Mercedes to the top of the timesheets in qualifying was Germany's Nico Rosberg. He'll have made quite a few people sit up and take notice with that performance, not least his teammate Lewis Hamilton.
He'll want to stay out of trouble over the first few laps, but he'll be determined not to let any cars past him. If he can maintain that position once everything's settled down, he'll have a massive advantage and be able to control the race.
It was a disappointing race last time out for Lewis Hamilton. He needs to bounce back today. In the pre-race interviews, he's been talking a lot about the importance of mental strength and not dwelling on problems and bad performances.
Lewis can wear his heart on his sleeve and at times is led by his emotions. I think since his move to Mercedes though, he's showing a greater level of maturity, which is helping him become more consistent in his performances.
Hey guys, how's it going? Onage here and welcome to a new F1 2015 career mode or championship mode video on the channel. And we are going to start the race here straight away. Not a lot of time to explain. What happened in qualifying is something different than usual. That's the reason why we are starting actually from the back of the grid and the race is already on the way. I'll explain soon what exactly happened, but not a lot of time, as I said, to explain at the moment, as I'm already going around the outside of a lot of cars here, having to back out of it because Perez is a bit slow ahead of us. Massive oversteer moment there while battling with Grosjean, going side by side into this little chicane and taking him around the outside. So up to 14th place, gained a couple of positions already. And the first lap isn't even completed yet. Perez braking quite earlier, obviously, because of all these guys. The first time in this career mode that we are starting so far back down the field. And what happened in qualifying actually is that this is just stupid, but on accident I retired from the session. Basically what I always do, I go to practice and straight away retire from that session. And I thought I was in practice, but I was already in qualifying for some reason, so I retired. And later on I found out that I retired from the qualifying session and not for the practice. So that's why we're starting from last place, which is indeed a bit of a shame, as we have contact with Perez on the axle of the hairpin. And that makes up for a little bit of a messy start to this video, but nonetheless we are racing. I guess you guys don't really mind it all too often, as we are making a move on Perez here, free wide for a little second with our teammate as well. I guess you guys don't mind it too much. I mean, we'll see some nice battling here, and I can tell you that this race is actually going to be quite a nice one. So I hope you guys don't mind too much, but that's exactly what happened. And I think it's going to happen for Silverstone as well, but I am not entirely sure. Did it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure actually. We'll see in the future. Right now, at the time that I am commentating this, I just finished the Hungarian Grand Prix already. So even the race after Hungary, I think I'm at Monza. Yeah, I had just finished Monza. So we did Spa already as well, which means I've already done a lot of races. Let's focus on this race. Currently in P12 behind Sainz, who is actually cleaning a little bit of a gap to us, which is not great to see, but in the space of one corner I immediately closed down by a few tenths. And then the hairpin over here, the AI tends to brake really early here, as you can see they're going nicely on the inside of Sainz. He will stick it around the outside here, have a better run out of the corner because he could straighten up the car earlier than we could. Nonetheless though, going up to Rich Mixer and having a nice tow on him, opening up the DRS. Oh, of course not, the DRS not enabled yet, that's my fault, my bad. But nonetheless though, overtaking him nicely, no issues there obviously whatsoever, coming through the chicane here, and once again closing down nicely on the back of Kvyat, picking up some slipstream. Nice tow on the outside here, but already passed even before the first corners. We brake rather late over here, trying to get a move done on Kvyat, who in the end tries to go around the outside here. Not gonna happen though. You have to show the run. There's a yellow flag here, and that's meant that I had to lift off for a second over there. Everyone did so though. As you can see on the minimap, the leaders are definitely having a good gap to this little train here. What's going on behind a Ferrari? I think a Ferrari is leading the stretch. We are having a battle with Verstappen, nicely taking advantage of the slow entry he had into that left-hander. Of course, this is a nice train, so their pace is all compromised. We drive very opportunistic, obviously. After 3 laps, we are already up to P9 though, so that's a good sign. But it's not such a great sign is that the leaders are pulling away at the stage, and we're still definitely in the battle for the championship. So it's obviously crucial to finish up in the highest possible place. DRS wide open for us then here, as we are in lap 3 on this little straight. Well, I'll say a little straight, but it's a huge straight in fact. And leads on to this important chicane with the Wall of Champions on the exit. Huge oversteer moment there, as you saw. Wall of Champions definitely being very famous, of course. On the inside of Ricciardo here, having a look. He leaves plenty of space. He saw me coming and decided to leave the door wide open. Tried to go around the outside here, but that's pretty much impossible when you are challenging an opponent on the same set of tires, basically. So couldn't do anything there in the tap with the walls. I had to correct some oversteer. Luckily it's F1 2015 as we go on the inside of Ricciardo and Maldonado over here as well. Gonna have to stick around the outside. It's really difficult to do, but it does look like we're able to do it. Maldonado's trying to wheel bang us almost into the walls. Ricciardo also having a look on Maldonado's inside here, so almost 3 wide. I'm just gonna turn into the corner, brake late. And well, it did work out rather well in straight away increasing the gap to Maldonado. Beginning of lap 4 though, we are in P7 still, and behind Bottas, who was in a big battle in a big scrap between Raikkonen, Massa and himself then. No DRS here for us, but nonetheless we're having a nice tow around the outside of Bottas here for turn 1. I have the inside line for turn 2, so we should be able to make that move stick. Yes, we do indeed. Once again, it's really hard to go around the outside of that second corner. It's technically the third corner on this track. So a good pass there while these guys are battling. As I said, you need to be driving really opportunistic. Skip to the end of lap 5. Bottas trying to attack us over here. I doubt we have any kind of setup running here. This may as well be the default setup. I think it actually is. So, well, that doesn't matter too much though. It's fine, I'm not going to complain about that. Having DRS on Massa, but Massa on his turn again, having DRS on Raikkonen. So, cannot go down the inside there, but we are definitely driving very optimistic, as I said. Trying to find a gap, trying to find a way where I can pass during the race. I was really quick on the entry of the hairpin, but also in the final chicane. That is where I gained a lot of time in that final chicane, throughout the whole race basically. So, this may be an overtaking opportunity or possibility, I should say, especially on the exit of the final chicane running into turn 1. So we skip here to the end of lap 6. DRS wide open once again. Bottas still behind us though, so we need to have a look in our mirrors. Bottas going on the inside here for the final chicane, decides to back out of it, and that means we can turn into this chicane like we would do if we weren't battling with anyone. The inside here of Massa, seems like I can do this, and even on the inside of Raikkonen. I'm gonna have to stick around the outside here. As I said, it's really hard to do so. Going a bit deeper to the corner, then having a huge oversteer moment there. Able to keep it though, but in the end taking Massa only. We had a look on the inside of Raikkonen, of course, but managed to not make that move stick. Once again, really close to the ball there, even tapping it, I believe. End of lap 7. Watch the hairpin here, braking quite late. Closing down that gap, but then the AI tends to have the better acceleration. I still do not know. I still do not know whether the AI have traction control enabled, just like they did on F1 2014. Even when you are at legendary mode. Having DRS on Raikkonen though, nicely sneaking up on the back of him here. So we entered this final chicane, and I said it, I'm really quick over here. Tried to nail the exit. Raikkonen had some oversteer on the exit, and so with DRS, this should be a really easy move. And after 7 laps, up to P4, not bad at all. And we are behind Vettel at the moment, nailing the inside curve there. Could have been a little bit better and going all over the curve over there. In the previous laps I was always in the dirty air, or usually I was all battling throughout that third corner. And straight away with the clean air in front of you, you certainly notice that the car bites a lot more. Starting lap 9 over here, 1:15.0, and that is actually the purple, so the purple lap, which means it's the fastest of the race. We have some good pace here around this track, has to be said, pulling away from Raikkonen slightly, but most importantly gaining on Vettel quite a bit. And this is one of those tracks where, so we have some more oversteer up there, where you can really easily cut corners and stuff like that. So I tried to be aware of that. At the same time, at this track it is a bit inevitable, you know, as I have the really poor corner over there. Raikkonen's gonna have a good run on us over here. He goes for the inside, actually does a dummy over here, so great driving from Raikkonen. Gonna have to stick around the outside, which we do so. And well, taking that place back, but that kept my eyes open, you know. If I make a mistake, then the AI is right on me again. Skipping to the end of lap 12. It seems to be a one-stop this race. Obviously not having the DRS on Vettel at the moment. Kind of lap times are we set in 1:15.7, so the tire was starting to kick in a little bit right now. That's a big corner cut over there, quite nasty, has to be said. but well, I guess we get away with it if it's just for once. As we have the engineer also talking about the tires. There was no kind of rain predicted for this race. As you can see on the minimap, those 2 dots in front of Vettel are most likely the Mercedes cars, obviously. So they have got quite a big gap, and the question is whether we are able to touch them, you know, towards the end of the race perhaps. I need to do everything I can though, because I feel like I am not gaining enough on Vettel to be able to challenge for the victory towards the end of the race. But who knows, maybe we have a better stint on the other compound. And so they're again having a big oversteer moment. I'm struggling quite a bit for the rears around this track. It's a very rear limited track, has to be said. Quite a few acceleration zones, and as you can see, are just struggling to put that power down. While the AI have no problems whatsoever, at least that's what it looks like. So again, that makes me think that the AI is some kind of traction control or are just superb with power delivery. Raikkonen with DRS closing up on us though, not close enough though, so we skip to the end of lap 15. As you can see visually, the gap to Vettel is about the same. We even pick up DRS on him, and that is crucial because that's going to help us defend from Raikkonen, who has a look around the outside over here. And we don't pit yet, so we stay out for another lap going all over those curbs. The is wide open yet again as Vettel had a poor run out of the exit of the final hairpin of the chicane rather. And here we go, and I do not overtake here. I decided to back out of it. Reason for that is that I thought, you know, in my opinion, I cut the final chicane too much, and I gained too much of an advantage by doing so. And that's why I did not try to you know, go for an overtaking maneuver there. I mean, I need to play it fair. As I said, it's a very easy track to cut, but I don't feel like, you know, gaining an advantage by doing that in you know, battling another driver. I mean, that's unfair. And as you can see, it's just so tricky to put the power down. It's unbelievable. Raikkonen on the inside over here tries to have another look, but cannot do it. We almost slide it into the corner. You can see Vettel ahead as well, having some oversteer on the exit of the corner. We had so as well. So the rears are definitely struggling. But we are approaching almost the halfway mark of this race, so you would think that we are going to pit this lap, if not next lap or whatever. But certainly it does look like we need to pit this lap, and as you can see, the engineer, or as you could hear, the engineer also telling it. Raikkonen is going to have a look on the inside. What is he doing? What are you doing, Raikkonen? Being spun around on that straight over there while Raikkonen tried to attack us. I immediately dive into the pit lane, but what a crazy accident. And straight away, this is something I almost never do, but I have a look at the replay, and what Raikkonen did there, I have no idea. In my opinion, he just tapped me there. This, yeah, it is very unlucky, and I don't know what Raikkonen was thinking, to be honest, because I never went fully to the inside, so I have no idea why he went on the outside, because I was going to pit anyway. Of course, he didn't knew that at the time, but I don't know, it seemed really stupid to me, and obviously it costs us a bit of time. And there's, well, we don't have any kind of damage from that, and you might wonder what the hell, how did you not get damage? Well, that was the thing I was wondering as well, but in Monaco, remember, we had the big crash as well, and we didn't get any kind of damage. And on the previous video, a subscriber actually said, "Are you sure that you've got damage turned on?" And I was like, you know, that's a good one actually. And I was so certain that I did have damage on for this career mode. And then I had a look. As I said, I finished Monza already that race. Not going to give any spoilers, of course, but I had a look at the damage, and it actually was disabled. And I was like, whoa, okay, so that is why, you know, all those crashes caused no fatal accident or something like that. So straight away I decided to turn on damages, but only, as I said, you know, that's only from Monza onwards. Nonetheless, focusing back on this race, it's going pretty well so far on this prime tire. We closed the gap to Vettel. As you can see, we are visually much closer than we were before. But still, those Mercedes cars are so quick, and with 15 more laps to go, I doubt we'll get a shot at the win. I think it's Hamilton in front of Vettel, although I'm not entirely sure. We'll have a look soon if we can pass Vettel, and it does look like we are within striking distance. Who is ahead of Vettel though? That is a backmarker, that is Stevens. But obviously that incident with Raikkonen didn't do us any good. It definitely cost us some time, and it compromised our race slightly, but nonetheless I decided to push very hard, and with the result that we are very close to Vettel right now. Vettel not picking up the DRS from the backmarker yet, he will pick up a slight toe. That is pretty much it, entering the chicane here, down the gears, getting it to turn in nicely. You saw me there almost floating it into the corner. And Vettel with quite a poor run on the exit of the final chicane, so we open up the DRS. And that's a straightforward move, even having a look on the inside of Stevens, who lets us luckily through and then decides to battle also something for some reason. Oh, there it is again. You see his front wing popping up there. No idea what Stevens is doing. Let's see whether he lets Vettel through. Answer is no. Vettel is through now though, I think. Oh, they're still side by side. But I think Vettel is through at the end. Yep. So I don't know what Stevens was doing there. We know that the AI can sometimes be a bit buggy on this game. And what has happened? As we are suddenly in second place. Rosberg ahead of us. Weren't we in P4 before? You know, before we overtook Vettel? Yes, we were indeed. And that means that Hamilton has had a problem with his Mercedes. And that is rather interesting to know. I do not really know whether Hamilton was leading. He may have been leading as well, actually. And the gap to Rosberg, who is then the leader of this race, suddenly is 10 seconds. So Hamilton retired from this race with maybe an engine failure or ERS failure or whatever. But I'm not going to complain. Up to P2 and Rosberg the leader in front of us. And then obviously the question is, can I close down a 10-second gap in the space of 12 laps? That is the question which pops up to everyone right now. Remember, it was 10 seconds crossing the line, 9.5 seconds. We also set the fast lap of the race with 1:14.8, but that was in the chase for, you know, trying to chase down Vettel. In the meantime, we set a 1:14.7, doing a 1:15.1 right there, and suddenly the gap is just 5.4 seconds with 6 more laps to go. We are on target here to take home the win after starting from last place, and that would be insane. As you can imagine, I was pushing rather hard at this stage. You can see just going fully over the curve, maybe even cutting the corner, but you know, I didn't even care as much anymore at this stage. I was just pushing so hard at this stage, just tremendously hard, and I gained so much the whole time in that final sector. I think I gained over a second. If I don't have any cuts, and I don't think so, towards the end of the lap, then we can exactly judge how much I actually gain in the last part of the sector, although we will have DRS probably because of this McLaren Honda being in the way. Still, we can judge how quickly we are in that final sector. The gap to Rosberg at the moment, as we are at the end of the second sector, 5.1 seconds, so gaining another 3/10 in that middle sector. Excuse me. And on the exit of the hairpin here, having a good exit, and my voice is starting to go even. Opening up the DRS then, having a nice toe on Alonso obviously in that McLaren Honda. Can we go alongside him? Does look like it. Where does he go though? He goes to the outside. Alonso staying in the middle of the track. I did not really know what his intentions were at that point, which made it really hard for me to make a decision. Decided in the end to go down the inside. And a very poor final sector, lost 6 tenths to, you know, my fastest final sector. But nonetheless, I still gained a couple of tenths on Rosberg. Skipping to the end of lap 30, lapping some more guys, Hulkenberg and Perez in this case. 1:15.0 that lap, a very good lap. And so the gap to Rosberg is only 2.8 seconds. I am gaining massively over here. Reason for that is that Rosberg himself was in some traffic as well. And he lost a lot of time over there, you know, just trying to lap those cars. And as you can see on the minimap, it's not over yet. And again hitting the wall over there. You can just visually see how much I am pushing. If this was a real simulation game, I would have been dead already, pretty much. Well, not dead obviously, but you know what I mean. My car would have been destroyed from hitting barriers here and there, but hey, it's F1 2015, so let's not complain about that. But as you can see on the minimap, and you can see it visually as well, because we can see Rosberg in the distance in his Mercedes. He's again facing some traffic. And the gap was about 2.8, I think, starting this lap. It's now 3.1, so Rosberg gained some time on us back. That made me realize that I had to push really hard, and this was not over yet. Rosberg may have had a little bit more pace towards the end over here, because I pushed so hard in the beginning stage of this stint in order to close down Vettel, but also, you know, come where I am right now. You know, only 2.8 seconds behind Rosberg, while I was 10 seconds behind before, going completely over the curb there, in fact cutting the corner, so a bit dirty from my side. But Rosberg, look at this, it's only 1.4 seconds at the moment, and Rosberg just overtook Grosjean. But my teammate is again in front of Rosberg, so that's still traffic. And as you can see on the minimap, in front of my teammate, there's another traffic car, you know, a car which is going to get lapped. Missing the apex there slightly, but that's okay. On the back of Grosjean here, hopefully he will move out of the way as soon as possible. That is vital for us at the moment. We are battling here with Rosberg for the lead, as I said, and we have 3 more laps to go, so it's going to be an absolute cracking end to the race. But as I said, the question is, can we still overtake Rosberg? We're running out of laps, but at the same time it does look like we are quicker at the moment while we are trying to cut ourselves through the traffic. We will pick up DRS on Grosjean. Well, that's a close one, to be honest. We'll see whether we pick up some DRS. It was close one, as I said, when we went across the detection point, going a bit deep into the hairpin. You can visually see as well by my driving style just how much I'm pushing at the moment. Going up to ridge mixer over here. Did we pick up DRS? Yes, we did. So that is extremely vital. I am not going to lift off trying to get DRS. I find that bullshit. So I stayed fully on the throttle and just pray that I got DRS, and we indeed did so. But Rosberg in the meantime already got past our teammate Ericsson. So I was hoping that my teammate could do a little bit more than that, not going to lie. But it's down to us, you know, 1.1 seconds to Rosberg. We are almost within DRS, and now it's time for us to lap our teammate as soon as possible. I feel like my voice is starting to go, but also the tension is there. I managed to get lap my teammate as Rosberg is on the inside of Sainz here, which was that traffic car in front of my teammate. And so Rosberg right now has clean track. Clean track with almost one more lap to go, and I still need to overtake Sainz. It's going to be crucial that I overtake Sainz as he is trying to battle again with Rosberg. Sainz going on the inside of Rosberg on the final chicane, can't do it though. And now he's within our way, trying to go as much over the curb as possible in order to avoid him and get a good run out of the corner, which I did so. And so the battle is on for the final lap of the race in this Grand Prix. We are on the back of Rosberg. The gap is only 2/10. And let's go for it, you know, game on with Rosberg. I knew that it was so crucial to stay with him now as much as can. I know Rosberg is the car which has more grip than me throughout this, you know, this first sector, but also the middle sector, going again all over those curves over there, trying to keep up with him, but the tires are starting to fall off. You can see a slide there on the exit of the corner, but what a battle this is going to be. 2/10 is the gap, going all over the curve once again, trying to nail the exit there. Usually the eye is so much quicker than me on the exit over there. Once again, you see Rosberg pulling away slightly by a couple of tenths. Now the next chicane is going to be absolutely crucial. This could set up a move, going all over those curbs, and a big slide on the exit. Holy cow. But luckily we closed Rosberg down, I think by a 10th or 2, or you know, maybe a 1/10, but you know, it's still a 10th, you know, braking so late over there, right on the limit of what the tires could give me in terms of grip, and having so much oversteer over there and so much wheel spin. It looks like the win is going to be from Rosberg at the moment, although we have the RS and we know that we have got that advantage going into the final chicane. So let's do it. It's going to be a battle for the run to the line. Rosberg braking quite early. I brake rather late, and I brake a bit too late going into the barrier, and a huge oversteer moment over here. It does look like Rosberg is going to take the win, and I'm swerving over there because I was furious because I felt like the win was possible. I really thought that it was possible to take the win over there. I thought I should and could have done it on the exit of that final chicane, to be honest. I really thought I could do it, but I braked too late. Rosberg braked earlier than I thought, which meant I was like caught up right in the zone where you start accelerating out of the corner. Otherwise we could have maybe still overtaken him for the run down to the start finish line. Nonetheless though, starting from last place in the Sauber and finishing second, that is quite good. And I hope you guys enjoyed that race, especially towards the end.
Rosberg is proving himself to be a real star of Formula One with another impressive win here today. A cracking drive by the Mercedes man.
It was a fantastic performance, and one that they should be very proud of. Every part of the team pulled together to achieve today's result.
There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
So Hamilton indeed retired at the end over there. We are right now 13 points behind Rosberg, who is leading this championship going into the next race. But what a race that was. I mean, fantastic action. Great towards the end as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did, although at the end I still felt that first place was a possibility. And then you always feel a little bit sad, but hey, I had good fun and hope you guys had it as well. If you had good fun and liked the video, then I would appreciate a like on this video as well. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching. Sorry about the cock up in the qualifying. Sorry, but that's just the way I'm going to say it, because I messed up by retiring and not realizing it was qualifying. I thought it was practice as I said before, but hey, that's sometimes the way it goes, and it did create some exciting racing, I guess. So hopefully that made up for it. As I said though, I hope to see you next time. If you have enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a like, and that is pretty much it. See you next time and goodbye.